Hi, everybody. It is Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in, sellers. Come on in. And we're going to talk about how to beat the summer eBay sales slowdown. And that's why my eBay shades, because it's summer, right? It's summer. And what you notice, I was looking around different forums, different places, and sellers are talking about, but my sales are so slow. And then what I see is when people are posting about the slow sales, then everybody jumps in. Oh, my sales are slow too. Everything is so slow. Oh, it's so slow. And everybody's talking about how slow it is, right? But what they're not talking about is something is selling. When you're at eBay headquarters, any of the offices, they have these tote boards and they're showing, like handbags are selling and shoes are selling, and there's various numbers that are showing, but something's selling. Something sells every minute of every day on eBay. I've worked with sellers, just to let you know, one category that is very hot, no pun intended, in spring and summer is home and garden. I worked with a very large home and garden seller to help them with optimizing their listings in their store. And for them, hey, Ellen, how are you? Good. For them, spring and summer is like their Christmas. It's hot for them. And for them, fall and fourth quarter is October, November, December, is slower. And we actually worked and talked about things that they could source and sell to help keep income coming in, because they have staff and they have warehouses to keep things coming in for them, because for them, fourth quarter was quiet. So if you're finding, oh, Kathy, it's so slow, it's summer, summer, everything gets so slow, what I'm going to say to you is no, it doesn't need to. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen for some sellers. It does. So what you have to look at is, why are my sales slow? And again, be careful who you listen to, okay? So if I'm jumping into groups and everybody has slow sales, and everybody, or at least everybody that's posting, is talking about, oh, how slow their sales are these people going to help me increase my sales? I don't think so. And what can happen sometimes is everybody's so busy with the moaning and this and that, oh, eBay, oh, whatever, but they're not being proactive. Like, how do I deal with this? What can I do? How can I turn my sales around? If I'm going through a slow patch, how can I attract buyers so that my items do sell? Okay. So one is, do look at seasonality. So like my wonderful seller with home and garden, because he'd been doing it for a while, he was very aware of the seasonality. He knew what sold for him at certain times of year. So then for him, because spring, summer for him was his peak time, it was a matter of doing the research and starting to source things that would sell for him during fourth quarter. So if you find that your items go a little quieter in the summer, it's about going, okay, what I'm sourcing does very well in the fall, it does very well in the spring, or perhaps very well in January, but it's getting quieter in the summer. So what can I do to adjust my eBay? Because what I'm interested in is getting sales, okay? Because some sellers you might not be. You might have kids home, grandkids home. So for you, you're fine about things being quieter in the summer because you have a lot of family activities. Or perhaps there's volunteer work you enjoy doing in the summer. Or you might have a part-time job or some other job that you have in the summer that gets very demanding, and you really want the attention to go there. That's fine. The great thing about eBay is it's your business, so you get to do what you want. But if you do want to keep your sales strong, one thing to consider is trying different tactics, okay? Because what worked for you perhaps 6 months ago or a year ago may not be working now. And that can be because just things on the platform have changed. People are just doing different things, trying different things. Your competition's up to different things. And you know what? You just haven't paid attention. because you, busy seller, you've been busy listing and shipping and selling, and you haven't really been looking at what's going on eBay or other alternatives, or what are people doing with their listings, because you've been very busy doing what has always worked for you, right? If it's working, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Then it does get slow. So you're like, okay, what's going on here? Hey, Cindy, how are you? You list daily if I don't instead. See, and that's good. So then for Cindy, what she's learned is daily listing for her works. Other sellers, that's not true. Other sellers, it's regular listing. So they're regularly listing, but not necessarily daily listing. Like anything, you test and you see what works for you. One strategy that can work, and you don't need an eBay store to do it, is to use best offer. What best offer does is it lets the shoppers know that they can send you an offer for a lower price than what the item is listed. Now, the interesting thing with best offer, some people, they'll look at it, they really want it, and they're not hagglers. My husband's one of those people. My husband is not a haggler. So if he sees something, he likes it, he doesn't want to send an offer, he just buys it. So what you'll find with best offer is things will sell for full price. However, there are the people that like to haggle. And what you do want to do if you're doing best offer is price your items up a little bit, like 20, maybe 30% higher. So it gives you wiggle room. It's like having an eBay store and you know you're going to be running sales and offering coupons. You price things accordingly so that you're still going to make a profit. It's something that I learned working in brick and mortar retail here in New York City. You know, Macy's is very aware of what the typical discounts are on the sales that they're running. And when items come in, the full retail price is done, very much knowing what their sale prices are going to be. Now, this is what happens sometimes. And again, the topic is how to beat summer slow sales. So people will come to me. This actually just happened last week, and they'll say, "Hi, Sharon, how are you?" They'll say, "Well, Kathy, I tried best offer. I tried best offer last year, 6 months ago, whatever. I tried best, didn't work for me. I had best offer. I didn't get offers. I didn't find it really increased my sales at all." But have you tried it recently? And also the items that you did best offer on, did you do it on your entire store inventory or just certain items? And I do find that certain categories, clothing typically does well with best offer. And again, you might be in a very niche category or very unique vintage and you don't want to do best offer. But typically on clothing, best offer does work because people might be looking for a little bit of a bargain. Your item's up, the other person's item up. They're very similar. The other person doesn't have best offer. You do have best offer. The person might want to save a few bucks. They'll send you an offer. The thing that's good about best offer is it reminds me of social media because it starts a dialogue. It starts a relationship. They're talking to you. You're getting engagement from a potential buyer. This is good. And what can happen sometimes too with best offer as you go back and forth is they might end up buying something else because they'll go back and forth and maybe, they'll message back and go, "This is the best that I can do." So they're offering you $20 perhaps on a $60 item, which is a little low unless it's been sitting in your inventory for a long time and you're like, "Yay, let's get rid of this." But what you could do, so let's say they're offering you 20 on a blue shirt that's $60 and you've only had it listed for maybe a month. So you're like, it's a little early to come down so drastically. But you might have another blue shirt, still perhaps, let's say it's a polo shirt, another blue polo shirt, similar style, maybe a different manufacturer, but one that you could do $20 on, okay? And then you can message them back and just say, "Hey, look at item," and I just write out the item number. I'll say, "Look at this item number in my eBay store. And send me an offer for $20. I would be glad to take $20 on this shirt, shorts, top, dress, hat, gloves, pillow, kid's toy, puzzle, whatever the item is." And you can score a sale that way. Why? You become like a personal shopper. Remember personal shoppers? They were really big here in the city, and you still have personal shoppers, but big in department stores in New York City because the person would come in with their shopping list and they would hand it to the personal shopper, and they would go and pick the gifts, the makeup or whatever. Sometimes it was done over the phone. But you had a personal shopper. Sometimes they would show you things. If you remember, like in the movies, sometimes they would come out with the beautiful models and the beautiful gowns, and they would be showing these beautiful gowns to people, and you get to pick which one you want. But that was the thing, is you have a relationship. This is your personal shopper. They're making suggestions, and you can do that with Best Offer. Or if a shopper is messaging you and asking you a question and it's clear, again, they're looking for something cheaper than how low you're willing to go, say, I've got another red dress. I've got another puzzle. It's not of, whatever. It's not of the Grand Canyon, but it's whatever it is. It's a river in Colorado or whatever. Take a look at that, because that is at that price. Again, you're having dialogue with the person and helping to get the traffic to your items. So when people tell you, oh, it's so slow. Again, if you want things to slow down a little bit, because for your life, for your family, it works great. But if you don't, one, like my friend in Home and Garden, look at your items. Are they more seasonal? And do realize if you ship globally, that can help with that too, because it's always winter somewhere. It's always summer somewhere. But do consider, like, okay, for some reason, these items just aren't moving as much in the summer. What can I source that does sell in the summer? That I can source from my thrift stores, my retail stores, my wholesalers. Again, think like a buyer. What are they doing? What are they shopping for right now? Typically in the summer, again, Home and Garden tends to do really well. Outdoor living, patio, pool, all of that thing. Think about a bathing suit, spring, summer clothing. So just keep an eye on that kind of thing. And stuff that's fun and trendy. Because again, when money gets a little tight, they may not buy a whole dress, or they may not buy a whole suit, but I'm going to buy a really cool vest or a really cool bow tie or a really cool hat and do my outfit that way. Another thing that can work besides Best Offer to really kick up your sales in the summer is auctions. And I know sometimes people say to me, oh, but Kathy, auctions, auctions. First of all, eBay started with auctions. eBay was actually called Auction Web, if you don't know this, when it first started years and years and years ago. And everything was auctions, okay? Buy it now, fixed price didn't come in until several years later. In fact, auctions were considered like entertainment. Most of them back in the day were ending on Sunday night because of people's schedules. Most people were working Monday through Friday. So Sunday night was a big night to be shopping, and people would be logged into eBay and watching these auctions just get bid and bid and bid and bid and bid. Sometimes that happens like with celebrity auctions, when there's a wonderful celebrity item and you got the Apple computer that just sold that went for a lot of money. That was a fun one that a lot of people were watching. But the thing with auctions, so back in the day, everything was auctions. Then eBay brought in fixed price, and you had fixed price and auctions. Now, yes, the majority of items on eBay are fixed price. I believe it's like 80%, if I remember correctly. Last time eBay was quoting numbers. But that means that 20% of listings on eBay are auction. Now, if I'm having slow sales and I'm in competitive categories, and just about everything on eBay is competitive. If you know of categories that aren't, please message me. No, I'm kidding. There's competition with everything, every category, even unique collectibles. You might have that really wonderful, unique item, but there's items that are similar. Okay. If 80% of the people are fixed price, and I can do a format that there's only 20%, okay? And you want to do auctions, it's 5 days, 7 days, and 10 days. It's not like it was years ago. Years ago, you paid a premium, you paid eBay extra money if you did a 10-day auction. That's not true anymore. But the under 5 day is, and I think it's just because eBay doesn't want that kind of speed going on with the auctions. But if only 20% of the people are doing it, it lasts a shorter time. It doesn't last 30 days, right? This is a way I can stand out. This is a way perhaps I can get a little sales juice going in certain categories. So think about it. Let's say I'll do my sunglasses. Let's say I sell sunglasses. And you know this, there's a ton of sunglass sellers on eBay. It is a very competitive category. So let's say I have 300 pairs of sunglasses or 50 pairs of sunglasses or puzzles or toys, whatever category is big for you. Drop a couple in auction. Why? One, it might sell. Yay! But two, it's getting me traffic to my items. And you can do this with or without a store. With a store is fun because they've got store categories. So then in your description, you can say something like, check out all my sunglasses, and they can just hop over to your store category. But I've done this when I'm shopping myself on eBay and somebody has an auction up and I'm looking at the item and I go, I like this item. They'll say in their description, I'm listing a lot of Adidas. I'm listing a lot of designer handbags. I'm listing a lot of kids' toys. I'm cleaning out my kids' collection. I just inherited a lot of these cute little collectible, whatever it is, from my mom. Watch me because I'm going to be doing a lot of auctions. Oh, you just got attention. You just got a follower. You just got somebody watching the auction because they may not grab that item, but they're going to come in and look at your items regularly. And that's the great thing about auctions is you can use them to drive, one, to get the item sold. Yay. And we're beating the summer sales. But two, done right, you can get more traffic to all your items. So that item may not sell, but I'm using it. I always think of like when they chum the water, for the sharks, when they throw the blood out, that's what I call it, blood on the water. You're chumming the waters. You're throwing those auctions out to stand out in search because there's hundreds and hundreds and thousands and thousands and thousands of listings. But I want to be the seller that has those items selling, that keeps my sales strong in the summer, and auctions can do that. I've got a super guide for you that is all about auctions. I use them a lot and I coach my private clients. I use it extensively as a great traffic getting tactic for my sellers. I've used it in multiple categories. I've used it in multiple durations, starting all times of day. And it's on sale right now for half price. It's secret sauce to eBay sales. And it's on my website. So if you go to my website, ilovetobeselling.com, you'll see it. Secret sauce for eBay sales. It's half off, but is only half off till Tuesday night, June 28th. Okay. So if you're listening to this later, you're going to be paying full price. It's still a great deal, but you'll get half off if you buy it now by the end of Tuesday night, June 28th. And 10% of the proceeds from the sales go to Lorianne Wong's food pantry in Atlanta, Georgia, to help those folks that are in need. But grab this because I am telling you, it does not matter what category you're in. You can do it with and without an eBay store. And only 20% of the sellers are doing it because most sellers just do fixed price. That's what you're used to. This is what we've been doing for a while. We haven't really analyzed it. We've been listing fixed price. Okay. So try something different, particularly if things are a little sluggish. Whenever things get sluggish, it's like, okay, how can I sort of tweak things up, get things going, get the traffic, stand out. Secret sauce for eBay sales has solutions. And I walk you step by step. I give you different tactics with auctions. I explain how and why they work. So then you can look at your inventory, because again, we're all different, and decide which ones you want to try. And then you've got the information right there. Okay. So grab secret sauce for eBay sales while it's half off. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. And that way you keep those sales going all summer long. Okay. I'm Kathy and I love to be selling. Bye-bye, everybody.